Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to talk about today is an update on East Palestine, okay, and the worriment that's going on as the growing season approaches. And being as though we all are starting our freedom gardens and getting our seedlings going, okay, this is going to affect all of us, really, especially when it comes to our local farmers and things like that, okay? Because we are nearing the end of winter in the Northern Hemisphere. And the people who grow our food are worried that the residual pollution and contamination from the East Palestine disaster in Ohio will ruin this spring crop. And farmers in eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania as well are especially concerned that dioxins and other deadly chemicals may have spilled over into their land, affecting their crops and their livestock, and that the soil that they grow and roam, okay, so especially with all the dumping and stuff like that, you know. So the senators, Sherrod Brown from Ohio, Bob Casey from Pennsylvania, and Fetterman from Pennsylvania have asked the United States Department of Agriculture, or USDA, Secretary Thomas Vilsack, and the EPA administrator, Michael Regan, to address these concerns by sending resources to the region so farmers can test their soils, plant tissue, and livestock for chemical contaminants. So the trio also requested a review of what kinds of disasters assistance are most appropriate to offer to these affected farmers, none of whom have received anything close to clear guidance about how to proceed for the spring planting and rearing season. Farmers in the region are already receiving requests to cancel orders due to health concerns. And these farmers and the food producers in East Palestine and in Darlington Township need assistance in responding to this man-made disaster. And the reason why farmers are specifically asking for disaster assistance to remediate this disaster is because there is a chance that consumers will be apprehensive about buying or will flat out refuse to buy any produce or any meat from the region, even if test results come out negative. So Senators Casey and Fetterman have worked tirelessly to support Pennsylvanians and Ohioans impacted by this disaster in the short term, namely advocating for resources and holding Norfolk Southern accountable for the harm the derailment has inflicted, in addition to working to prevent similar disasters from happening in the future. So Fetterman continues to struggle with serious health issues because, you know, he had a stroke. The day of the derailment, he had to be taken to George Washington University Hospital because he was dizzy, and he had a stroke, and he also had cardiac problems. And after leaving the hospital on February 10th, he checked into Walter Reed National the Military Medical Center for Depression. And so there's a lot going on with him, and it's sad. And I know that not a lot of people like him, but, you know, don't wish ill will on somebody, especially when it comes to their health. You know what I'm saying? So Fetterman, he also signed and was sent a letter to Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw asking how his company plans to assist farmers and others throughout the region with their short-term water needs. And he said, what will be done in long term if water sources are contaminated by the hazardous materials that leaked out of the tanker cars or that were created during the explosion and subsequent fires? That's what Fetterman wants to know. What is the company's plan to reimburse the local farmers if their crops and the soil and the livestock are found to be injured, contaminated, or in any way rendered less valuable by the derailment or its effects? And these are rational questions that need to be answered. What are the company's plans for remediation and disposal of the impacted soils? Will any of these materials need to be transported off-site for treatment and disposal? And how will the company ensure communities and protected along the transportation route? These are logical, rational questions. I'm still waiting to hear if there's any answer, because I'm not seeing any answers to any of these questions. And I hope to hear, to see if Senator Fetterman actually receives an answer, because this is affecting more than just East Palestine, Ohio. This is going to affect a wide range of communities, states, people. And Norfolk Southern, they just don't care. They do not care. It's almost like they're just trying to put a Band-Aid over a huge, huge wound that has been left. A huge wound that's been left. Well, all we can do now is hope and pray that a solution is found, and that these farmers will be able to have a wonderful growing season and a wonderful harvest, and that they will be able to somehow get back to some kind of normalcy. I don't know when, I don't know how, but all I can do is pray for it. All right, guys, that's all for this video, okay? I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.